I just realized I haven't made a video in over a week, and people are probably assuming that I died, so let me slap something together as quickly as possible, just so people don't think I fell off the face of the earth. Alright, what's on the Kuro subreddit? That's always got some hidden gems.
A day later, Vare tweeting out, "Oh my god, I just made an epiphany. I get horny when I'm depressed."
You know what? Honestly, I fully agree with False's statement there, and I have no other words to add to that sentence. Well, it looks like Kuro is gonna be a bust. I'm gonna have to do some actual research, god damn it. So in good news, it looks like JoCat has finally returned to the internet. After 9 months of no streaming content on JoCat Direct, he has in fact returned with a new stream, which is great news because there were a lot of people who were thinking he was never gonna come back to content creation after he was basically bullied off the internet by random trolls. And it looks like he's also got himself an updated model, and it looks fantastic.
I've gotten into 3D printing as well, just to save myself a few dollars. And also because there's just some really cool models out there. I'm not a big fan of Kriegers, how they look, but I found like some proxy Kriegers, like a 3D designed, that I like a lot more. And what I like about them is they have boobs, and that's it. Yeah, so.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm happy to have JoCat back to streaming. Let's see what the audience thinks about his return. You should go back to the hole you crawled out of, pansy. Die! Quit the internet! Why does his avatar look like a woman? I hate this Reddit man so much. I hate you. Leave the internet. I'm starting to understand why JoCat left the internet in the first place. Jesus fucking Christ. The man can't have a single stream without people absolutely shitting all over him for no reason. I will say this, if you're upset that a man has an effeminate VTuber model, nobody tell them about femboys. They won't be able to handle it. Their fucking head will explode. Absolutely nobody send this username images of femboys. It might kill them. The next bit I want to cover is about K9 Kuro talking about why he left his previous company, but also more broadly the differences between being an indie, being in a big corpo, and being in a chill corpo. I don't want to abridge his words, so I'll play this clip.
How do I explain this? Those people were never really your fans to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to explain it better than that. Like, you're pretty much better off without them. I'm just gonna say, I've been in this VTuber scene for a while now, right? A long while. And I've been through, you know, a couple of corpos and shit. I've experienced a lot of the different ends of the spectrum for this. Indie, corpo, and then like chill corpo, right? I've had all of it. And I'll just say, it sucks because when you're smaller, you want any viewer you can get, right? Any viewer you can get. But these viewers who just give you a toxic mentality, it's better to just get rid of them. Seriously, it is. It is always better. Because in the long run, you won't hate streaming. The biggest thing, the biggest killer for streamers is not anything other than themselves. That's the truth. The biggest thing that kills streamers is themselves. If you end up being demotivated and hating streaming, and you don't turn on stream because it's in your mentality you don't want to, you f***ed up, right? That's it. It's on you. So if you grow a community where even though it's slower to grow at first, but you actually like it, you like the community, you enjoy streaming to them, but it took longer, well, you're going to be streaming for longer because you're not streaming to dickhead, right? Like bro, like I know it's no secret I used to have like a fucking shit ton of viewers, right? But I would never trade it for what I have now. Never. Literally. Because when I was like that, that is like the most fucked up mentally I've been, right?
You know, I think every small VTuber dreams about the day they get adopted by a corpo and makes it big, but I'm honestly really glad to hear these former massive streamers talk about their experience at big corpos, because it does honestly, genuinely make it a little bit easier to cope with the fact that I didn't get picked, when I know that if I did, I would have been ruined mentally. Now, if you think that it's just VShojo that's treating former talents better than Niji Sanji ever did, I would now like to showcase Face Connect treating a former Niji talent better than Niji ever could.
Honestly, I'm like really grateful. My original room didn't have a desk, but because I'm here, you know, but Sakana upgraded my room for me so I could have a desk. So happy about that. Like, well, I'm just like you know, a guest in their concert, but they're treating me well, which is, I'm like, wow. I'm not used to this, but it's kind of, you know, like, I guess it's just where I used to work. When I hang out with anyone that's not my company. They are very nice. I always think, you know, when I hung out with Gun Run too, I think about like at my old company, we were doing recording one time. We had been in the studio for a long time and we were really hungry. We were like, can you please get us some food? They were like, okay, give us your credit card.
Imagine a company being so fucking greedy they can't even buy their employees some pizza. Like literally a pizza party is the bare minimum a company does to show quote unquote employee appreciation. Couldn't even do the pizza party, goddamn. You know how it goes. W Fishman, L Niji Sanji, we know how this goes, nobody's surprised here. So the next thing I want to cover is a little bit of mild doom posting. Really, I just want to show this as an example of how every single time a famous corpo talent becomes active on their alt account, everyone starts getting suspicious and doom posting about an eventual graduation. This one being an extremely detailed document of Senzawa, Gargura's past life, suddenly becoming more active on Twitter and following a bunch of new people all of a sudden. The reason I'm not convinced by this is because this has happened a couple of times before. Every single time Senzawa makes a tweet or follows someone or does literally anything, everyone goes, oh my god, girl's gonna graduate, and then she just never does. The only thing here that I think has even a little bit of validity is they do highlight that she followed the Gun Run on Twitter, who as you know is the CEO of VShojo. But again, that doesn't really prove anything. The next bit of doom posting that I wanted to cover is a bit of doom posting that got absolutely shit on. Normally when people get all doom posty and talk about the upcoming fall of whatever, either people ignore it or people join the bandwagon and also start doom posting. This is the first time in a long time that I've seen someone get absolutely shit on. So the original tweet is a screenshot from a Lamy clip. Lamy? I don't watch this content creator, so I don't know how to pronounce their name. I don't speak a word of Japanese, so don't bite my head off. But anyway, in this clip, Lamy says, there's sad things and happy things about it. The Hololive I knew was a free place. Anything was okay, even Arrow or EU stuff. I stood in Hololive during the time it wasn't totally free. It was turning more idle-like. And after IPO, there's more constraints. And for those who don't know, IPO just refers to a publicly traded company. Yago actually only owns like I think 38% or 40% of Hololive. And yeah, I 100% understand that you're gonna encounter a lot more restrictions once Yago has shareholders to answer to. That definitely sucks. And I don't actually disagree with this person's statement, I hate IPO, I hate investors, I hate shareholders, simple as. And honestly, I've been aggressively anti-corpo and anti-capitalist since I started my YouTube career, and that doesn't change here. But what is interesting is this actually got community noted. The community note saying, this leaves out important context. This was a public stream. Lamy says she's still happy to be in Hololive and it helps her achieve her dreams. Now, although that initial post I don't really have an issue with, these follow-up 4chan posts I do have a bit of an issue with, where they say IPOs are the reason the Western entertainment industry is filled with sovless slop. Yago still has about 38% control of Hololive, but now the rest of investors that control 50+% of the company can just oust him whenever they want. The only reason they don't is because they're convinced Yago knows how to make money out of his talents. The moment he stops doing that is the moment the investors oust him, they assign a bean counter, money maxer, cost minner as CEO that will suck the soul out of the company and whatever talent is left. So Yago needs to appease them by doing these restrictions. And I don't disagree that there's definitely some restrictions that are placed on Yago now that he has shareholders to answer to. However, I would like to point out that Hololive is absolutely raffle stomping, absolutely destroying the competition. Like, technically Niji Sanji overall makes just a bit more money, but in terms of brand recognition, in terms of public respect, in terms of sustainable gross income over all branches, not just JP branches, Hololive is absolutely stomping the competition, and it's not even funny. So it's kind of weird to be doom posting about ousting Yago when the company is doing it the best. All Yago has to do, truthfully, if his shareholders get a little too yappy, is just show them the competition. Truthfully. This next post I don't have any context for, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read it and comment afterwards. It says, Gura seemed really disillusioned with HoloLive in her member stream. She was talking about how unhappy and hopeless she felt about MaidMint and HoloLive in general. Everything from all her cancelled projects to how she'd rather sing karaoke because she doesn't like the way they mix her voice in her music. She even gave an example of where they returned a track to her, but they removed her vibrato from part of it. So just to add some context for anyone not familiar, your pitch when you're singing naturally oscillates up and down as you hit a note, and when you use either autotune or Melodyne to pitch correct vocals, one of the things that happens is that variation in pitch that happens gets really squashed. A lot of the natural vibration in your voice just kind of gets flattened out to a single note, and it sounds borderline robotic at the worst of times, but at best, it just sounds a little bit less natural and a little bit less pleasant. And truthfully, anyone who gives a shit about music hates people going through the effort of pitch correcting near perfect vocals to make them quote unquote perfect, which ultimately actually just makes the vocal sound generic, samey, robotic, and sterilized. So Gura's not wrong at all for that opinion. They then go on to quote Gura as saying, "Would you follow me in my next life as a sunflower?" Which people are interpreting as, "Would you still follow me if I went indie?" The quote retweets are intense. Lying sack of shit. Ah yes, 4chan, the place known for telling the truth and never doom posting. 4chan, source, it was revealed to me in a stroke. I'm not saying some of the stuff said here isn't true, but y'all seriously gotta stop basing your opinions on 4chan. For the love of God, please stop taking 4chan posts as pure gospel. These things are always so hyperbolic and exaggerated. I could honestly scroll and scroll and scroll, but I think you get the idea. The overwhelming response from the community is that this is all doom posting and meaningless. But at the same time, I can't help but feel that it's not so crazy to believe that at some point, Gura is definitely 100% gonna leave HoloLive. It might be a bit doom posty to assume that it's gonna be happening within the next week or two. I mean, even if she handed her resignation in literally today, it's almost certain that it would be weeks, if not months, before we actually got an announcement about it. And plus, as one of HoloLive's most subscribed talents and most popular and recognizable talents, I'm willing to bet that Yago would say or do just about damn near anything to keep Gura in HoloLive. I genuinely believe she's so valuable as a icon for HoloLive, as a face to put on merch and on billboards and have sing at the literal fucking Dodger Stadium. The primary reason I don't buy into any Gura doom posting is because people have been doom posting for ages and it's never happened, and she's simply just too valuable for HoloLive. Even if Gura only streams like 4 times a month, just look at these super chats up at the counter. Look how much goddamn money Gura brings in. There are people re-upping their memberships for 43 months, 45 months, donating $100, subscribing to 39 months of memberships. If you have a talent that can pull in the GDP of a small country in a single stream, you're gonna do everything you can to keep them streaming for you. But that's all I wanted to talk about right now. I know during the past week and a half I've missed a lot of VTuber newsy subjects, but honestly, I'm not too worried about it. There's so many other people making VTuber news content. I mean, shit, there are people I've literally never heard of before in this space that have more subscribers than I do. So I am gonna try and move to a little bit more video essay type of content in the near future, possibly. Some video content that might be a little bit more evergreen and might continue to get views for more than the 3 days people give a shit about current events. So we'll see how that goes. We'll give that a try, make a couple video essay videos and see how well they perform. So while I'm working on that, expect to see less of me during the coming weeks. The cost-benefit ratio on daily content just ain't there, fam. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought about everything we talked about today, and I'll talk to you guys some other time. Bye, guys!